to learn to say no without feeling guilty or without feeling bad.
Because I think that's something, I do struggle with.
That's such a good example because it's probably exactly the same kind of thing I would do.
When people don't fulfill their responsibility, now you're taking it on and making it to your guilt.
We can become powerful people, and then we can take care of ourselves at the same time.
The clutter for me is not just the physical clutter, it's the digital clutter and the emotional clutter.
Women deserve to have a supportive network of like-minded women who empower, discover, and embrace her true divinity. We believe when women feel safe, loved, accepted, they feel empowered to achieve their goals and highest values. And this is what we bring to you through our organization.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome, a very warm welcome from Austria here in Europe and
From Las Vegas.
Yes. We are connecting international here. Welcome to Crystal within our first live call. We are very happy and excited to be here. Hopefully soon a few more can join us, but we would like to start and respect your time. Today we want to really connect with each other. We are doing right now this 12-week kickoff challenge, and it's very exciting. A lot of you have handed in questions and also shared your biggest challenge, which we are then trying to answer in our weekly videos that we're sending out to you. And we want to really hear how it's going for you. How is the challenge? How are you doing? Is this helping you? Did you have any insights that was coming up or any questions that were coming up during the challenge while you're going through the topics, while you're going through the healing work? Because I'm sure a lot of things are coming up, maybe even old triggers or something you wanted to resolve and you didn't figure out yet how, and you want to get some more support. It's really the time to focus on you tonight. So this is basically what the call will be about. We will also reveal a few insights about the 4-week program that will come next January and some bonuses that you can get today. So it's very exciting. And before we open up the floor, so it gives a chance for a few more people to come and to share and ask questions, I wanted to ask and invite Hilde about why we started Crystal Within. She has a very interesting story, starting long time ago, many years, all the way back into her childhood. And it's very interesting how it all developed. And we wanted to share this with you because I think it's relevant to all of us. And I would like to invite Hilde Wiemann now.
Thank you, Diana. And I want to say hello to everybody who is here. Hope that more people can join because we had over 30 people who are interested, but it's Saturday and who knows how the timing is. So even you said good evening. I think, Diana, you, the other Diana is in Hawaii, isn't it? So for you, it's for sure good morning. And then where are you, Marlies?
In Austria.
Oh, you're in Austria.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So my story, of course, also started in Austria. I am Austrian. And I want to right away say that when my brothers, so I come from a small town, almost village, 5,000 people on the border to Czech Republic. And, we were very busy and active, running around, had so much freedom in our childhood. And my brothers, they're a little bit older, they were Boy Scouts. And I was nothing but jealous that in summer they always went to camp. During the year, they had this and that event going on. And then every single week they got together with friends. And even with their uniform, somehow, they identified with something that I this is who I am. And then it got to the point I said to my mother, I told my mother this, and then she said, well, why don't we create the Girl Scouts? And she helped me at age 12 to give out flyers after church. You know, everything almost is Catholic in Austria, and when I grew up, so more so. So the whole village walks to the church on Sunday, and there's one service after the other. And so we gave out flyers and announced that I want to find other people who are interested in this. And that's how I came about. My mother invited an older girl that was qualified for this to teach us. And then the only place we found where we could start it was a house in renovation. They had no heat. We started in winter. And I so vividly remember we were sitting there and building tables and seats out of bricks. And we were sitting with our coats and our mittens and hats and scarves on and reading this tiny little booklet of the laws, the rules, the commitments, and all this, you know, the promises and so on. And I was just so excited. And I think it started something in me. Oh, wow, I could always learn and become a better person. So this lifelong learning started back then. Then I want to go fast forward. I visited my sister-in-law and my brother, of course, in Croatia this spring in May. And both of my brothers have a house on different islands in Croatia, live in Vienna other times. And so that one has this gorgeous place that is so peaceful. Everywhere is flowers and herbs, different levels. You know, you see down to the sea and so on, up from the balcony. I mean, romantic. And I thought, wow, this is so sad that only a couple lives here. And once in a while, a visitor comes, and I called Diana and said, why don't we do a women retreat there? And this is how this started with Crystal Within, that we said, okay, if we go for a weekend intensive and just have a wonderful time and personal growth and sharing and so together, I think we need to prepare and start with an online program for a longer time. So we get to know each other, we meet, we learn skills, look at our life and so on. And suddenly I said, why don't we become the Girl Scouts of the new era? So, and that's what I see as Crystal Within, you know, becoming a crystal, becoming clear, becoming our best clear version and living from our core. That just inspired both of us. And I think the inspiration came from God or universe, whatever people believe in, kind of driven towards this, that creating this for women. There's much more to say on this, but I think by discussing this, what is Crystal Within, we discover more.
It's incredible, Hilda. I think it was really inspired by God and the universe to put us two together. And we made it our mission to support other women to become like a crystal, clear as a crystal, with all the healing powers that crystals have, beautiful in different shapes and colors, because every woman is like that. Every woman has that inside of her. And I like the idea with the Girl Scout of the new era that describes the mission and what we're going to do together as women. For me, I thought also it was really great when I looked at my journey of my life and how I was able to move forward. Of course, I had ups and downs. And what I realized that there's two key factors that always helped me. And the first one was when I got into discovering the purpose of life and what I want to do with my life, I ended up being in a group of like-minded people. Didn't plan that, but it happened to be so. And they all were looking for the purpose of life, wanting to do better, wanting to work on themselves and improve. And so I realized when I was in their group that growth happened so quickly. and almost effortless. Things that I had big challenges before to overcome, like on a personal level, suddenly became so easy to overcome because I was in a group with people who pulled me along. We were sharing with each other about what we learned and about the challenges we were going through. And it was really easy to grow spiritually and mentally very quickly, just in a couple of months, which before I could not have done by myself. So that is the first key factor that I learned, is having a support group of like-minded people, not just any people, but people who want to go in the same direction as you, is so powerful. It speeds up your growth process, and the energy connects with each other, and suddenly you find yourself really overcoming difficult situations that you couldn't think of before, because before you were struggling on your own, and alone it's very difficult to do that. And the second thing which I realized throughout my life journey was really supportive. So this was my up in life, right? And I was feeling very well. And when I wasn't anymore in that support group and there was no group available, I really saw my growth and myself going down again. And then I found myself at one point, after years being overworked and overwhelmed, I had an emotional breakdown and I wasn't doing well at all. And what got me out of there was when I learned skills like meditation, like mindfulness, like EFT, emotional freedom technique. And that really helped me also to get myself up again and step back into my true self and connecting with my heart and bringing myself together again and aligned and working on my dreams. And so this is the two key factors that I realized is really, really important and necessary for any person, and especially for women, because women are people of we're connecting, right? Humans, we want to have connections. We yearn for that connection. We need connection, right? We live for connections. This is really the nature of a woman. She is embracing, bringing people together, sharing her heart. And this is what we think, and what I think we really need. And that's why Hilda and I said this is what we want to really do with Crystal Within. We want to have that support group of like-minded people and bring skills into that, skills to uplift you, skills to help you overcome the challenges, and other people to share your journey with and to lift you up and, get you out of there. I see more people are joining this. I'm very happy. Hello, Lily. Another person from Austria, yay! Good to see you. Hello, Raman, Nadim. Good to have you here. I think she's also from the US, Arizona, if I remember correctly. So this is why Hilda and I, we created Crystal Within, and now we would like to hear from you how it is going during the 12-week challenge. If you have any questions, if you had a good experience, any aha moment, and just how you're doing. Yeah.
I certainly think it's a great time that we can get to know each other a little bit and see what's on your mind and heart. How did you react the first time you saw our advertisement and invitation?
Yeah.
Hello, I can share if you like.
Yes.
Hi. So thank you first of all for doing this great challenge. I think it's very valuable. And there are many great points, I feel. I mean, for me, more 2 and 3, week 3 were more applicable for now at the moment. But I really felt I could, for me, especially right now, I'm very busy. I'm working, I'm studying, I'm doing my ISP, and also, everything together. So I feel like that was a very good, for me, week 2 was very great, especially to see, where also one can also say no, or without feeling guilty, because I think that's something, I do struggle with. But the power talk was really great, and and also just some tips where you can you know, just to see actually, to reflect at the end of the day, actually, not to see only the maybe the things that you haven't achieved, but all the things that to reflect on that you have already achieved and that you should be proud of. And I think that's very helpful. So I do actually have a question. I was always wondering, because both of you, I think, are very busy people. So what does what helped you to to kind of not be stressed easily, or to like, what do you do when you get like triggers or stressed at the moment, or so? If you maybe you have or personal tips that you can share with us. Thank you.
Wow.
Let's see, I'm twice as old as Diana, so maybe you go first.
Okay. You mean your list is longer or what?
We'll see what you don't say if I have new ideas.
Okay. Well, thank you, first of all, Marlies, for sharing how it's going for you. And you somehow seem to manage well, because you find the time to watch the videos, to listen to the power talk. So you should clap yourself on the shoulder and say you're doing well, because you're doing it, you know. And this is already the act of getting started. And I'm very happy and grateful that you find the time and create the time to participate. So to your question, what do I do to not get stressed out and to balance? What I found for myself that works really, really well is a morning routine. And I change it a little bit according to what I need right now. My morning routine a year ago isn't the same as what it is now. So in the past, I was doing a lot of meditation twice a day. I'm still meditating, but in the morning, I have my energy exercise. And it can go very long, it can go very quickly, but I kind of set an intention for the day. And sometimes then I just feel into, when I just sit for 2 minutes, I wake up and I just feel into, what is it that I need today? Other than the energy exercise that I do every day, what is it that I need today? Do I need to have a short meditation? Do I need to have an EFT session? Is there something, like this morning, for example? Okay, this morning I felt very emotional and I felt not very well. Part of it probably is because I almost didn't sleep so much. So then I felt, okay, there's something that I feel like I was just swallowing the last days. So I did an EFT session. I sit there, close my eyes, ask, what is it that is triggering me? What is it that is pulling me down? And I realized I have a big change in my life and I have anxiety because there's a lot of things that is unclear. So, you know, with details, you get security. And when the details are not there, then you feel like, oh God, what's going to happen? You don't know. There's a big question mark. So I felt I wanted to release that. And then I just did an EFT session and I felt really good afterwards. I felt, much more free and open to move forward, because we really do create blocks inside of us if we don't take the time to sit down and see what the heck is going on with me. You know, don't just keep going, but stop. And I think that's also one point that I would say helps me when I feel I'm coming to a point where I'm too stressed and I feel something is not all right. Stop. That's the first thing. Breathe. If it's very strong, if you're very stressed, breathing exercise is the best to get yourself back into the body when you're spaced out with all the to-do lists and all the things you're running around like a crazy chicken, we say sometimes, and you don't know where to start on your to-do list. Then just stop, center yourself, and start breathing for 5 minutes. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And that already really calms your whole nervous system down and gets you back into the here and right now, where you can think clear again. Because when we're stressed, we cannot think very clearly. Because, And then when you do have the time in the morning, even if it's just 10 minutes every morning, you create your own little morning routine and you feel, what do I need? What is good for me? Do I need an affirmation? Do I need a meditation? Do I need a music? Do I need to release an emotion that I'm carrying along with me? You know, and then set an intention. The energy exercise, what I do every morning is I speak out loud what I want to create and what I want to attract. And that brings my mind into the focus. and really to think about not all the problems or to-do list that is waiting for me, but rather what do I want to experience in that day. And since I'm doing this, I feel honestly a big change. I feel a big change. A lot of small things, but they add up to make a huge shift inside of me, where I feel when there is a challenge coming up, which recently comes up a lot because there's a big change happening, I don't get emotional and I don't get triggered so easily. And before that was very quickly that I felt, oh God, I'm tensing up, you know, it's stressful to me. So I can move through this much easier, and that for me is very valuable. So I consider that as a big shift.
Good. The best question you could ask for Diana.
Right.
You're the expert in discipline about routine, I think.
Because it's
Yeah.
really awesome. It really helps, I think. Okay, but now I want to hear from Hilde. What do you do, Hilde?
Well, first of all, I want to say, like you said, things change. You know, it goes in waves. And at different times of our lives, we have different routines and disciplines, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Over time, we figure out what's good for us. I'm almost tempted to go over there and get my big whiteboard that's next to the fridge and it's in the kitchen, and I see it from here. I have maybe 15 or 18 things on it, and I just glance at it and think, what's good for me? You know, I mean, I go inside to say what's good for me, but throughout the day, there's things I shouldn't forget, like drinking water. So I put bottles here in the morning, and I do lots of other external things actually right now for my physical health. But the one word you said, Marlies, was trigger. When you're triggered, so maybe I say something to that. That is a learning process to realize, oh, I'm triggered. What is it? Because so easily we snap and we go into blaming circumstances or the other, somebody else. That was for me very important in life, that I could keep my power, because it takes humility to say, oh, I own this, that I'm triggered. It's me. You know, that's my whole inside of me. And what's going on? What do I need? And then learning communication skills around it to communicate well with the other person. So those were things that brought ownership and taking back my power, clarity, and peace. That was a big piece, besides all the other things that we know of: meditation, stretching, yoga, breathe, and lists and things like this. But, you know, since I come more from psychology, these triggers that are around all the time, that is something to learn. And we'll definitely go into this in our course to learn, you know, what is my part. So I hope that helped you.
Thanks a lot. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great that more people are joining.
It's very important what Hilde said about the triggers, because I think we all know we get triggered very easy, right? And it's so important to find tools to help us look at those triggers. And we are very lucky that we have Hilde here, because she is an expert on that, and she will teach us really a technique that anyone can do, and it's very simple, but yet it's very powerful when we use that. So I'm very happy to have that here. And yes, I see more people joining. Welcome for everyone who is joining in now. We are very happy to have you here. Does anyone have a question, or maybe wants to share also how the experience is going during the 12 weeks?
Okay, the question I have, you know, it's you said something in the second week, to learn to say no without feeling guilty or without feeling bad. And this is really sometimes it's a problem for me. It's very difficult for me to say no to somebody when somebody asks me to help, or can you do this or can you do that? And I have to say no because already I have something else to do. And afterwards, I feel always very bad, and it triggers me really, actually. So how do you learn to say no without feeling bad or without feeling guilty?
Well, if I could say to that, because I'm around longer. That's really something. It is so good to learn. The immediate response could be, well, let me think about it. It's very tempting, but I got to look at my schedule, or I got to have a moment. I get back to you. So those phrases, they are very good because you're not rejecting the other. You're not saying no right away. And you can then create your response. And honestly, the thing is, so you're asking, why not, how can you let go of the guilt? When responding to the other and saying yes would take from your essence, or take away from somebody that you promised you will be there for them, or you will do something, if it's for you or for others, you need to take away from that in order to help the other. You really need to think about it. And if that is the case, that you serve somebody else less or have less energy for something, then you are anyway saying no. You're indirectly, passively saying no to the other. Another point is when we take from the essence. So we are saying yes, 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 and we are taking so much from our essence that is, so to speak, a sin against us. Or I don't know what other language. It is not a good thing towards us. It's not a burden, but we cross the boundary in a way towards our own self-care and self-love. When we understand that concept and go through it, think about it more, then I think it is easier to say, well, let me think about it and really make a clear decision. And we are not rejecting the other because it's just that we can't serve them enough. We can't help them enough, well enough. We actually injure them if we are there with half of our energy or with less than we want to be. Did that help?
A little bit.
Oh, what's so big? The guilt?
Well, because I really feel as I just want to say the example, the last example I had, my daughter-in-law, she asked me to help to babysit because she has an examination, I really know that she needs me, she doesn't have somebody else to take care of her baby, but already I have another appointment, which is also important. So I apologized to her and I said, sorry, but I cannot babysit. But still I feel bad about it because I know she really would need me. So, but still I feel bad, that I cannot help her.
Yeah. I don't know if I should be the one always jumping in, but the thing is, we need to learn that other people, well, if she would have told you early enough, that is her responsibility. So what we need to learn is to differentiate my and her and others' responsibilities. If she knew that she had an exam and she would have asked you, maybe you could have done the other appointment at a different time. You could have moved things around.
That's true. She asked me very late,
Here we go. Here we go. And that is your learning, honestly. So if I can be direct, this is really your learning. That when people don't fulfill their responsibility, in her case, asking you early enough, now you're taking it on and making it to your guilt. And that's a learning process to move out of that system. It's a habit. It's a routine you have.
Okay.
Boy, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Who's it? Was it June? June, can we see you?
Okay, thank you.
Catherine.
I didn't know I was unmuted. Because I'm sorry.
We don't see you. Catherine, we don't see you.
But also I was unmuted and I didn't know that. I thought
Here you are.
That's such a good example because it's probably exactly the same kind of thing I would do.
Feeling guilty? Yeah.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Yeah.
I mean, not knowing what to do and how to. I wouldn't be able to see the irresponsibility of my child.
Yeah.
I take on
Over
everything.
time, as now that you know it, over time, you can definitely say, well, let's talk about this. I really want to be there for you. What is your schedule? Let's sit down with your calendar and see, you know, where you have important things and how I can help you. That way she sees that you really want to be there for her, but she has responsibility, thinking ahead. It's a learning for her.
Mm.
Great it happened.
Oh, so more living and teaching.
Let's not, yeah.
Yeah.
Great it happened. Don't save everybody around you, because then they can never learn.
Yeah, that's true, right? If you do that, actually, you help her to get herself organized and give her the opportunity to grow. But if you jump always in to catch up that part, that responsibility, she doesn't have a chance to grow that inside of her. So you're actually helping her when you make those boundaries, or when you organize and say ahead of time, like Hilda said, let's create a schedule, let's plan. It's very true. It's difficult because we always want to take on the burden of everyone, especially our loved ones. But eventually, often we are actually helping, maybe very short term, but long term, we don't help. It's counterproductive. But it's a learning process, and it's not easy even to let that go.
I mean, it's true. It's a good point.
Yeah. Thank you, Annie. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else?
Thank you, Annie. Oh.
Who else had either a question, or we asked in the beginning what interested you, what stimulated you to respond to our invitations?
Oh yeah, I can share just briefly. But thank you for that example. I am in that boat also. I just took notes and I learned, wow, so much just from that last question about, feeling guilty. What I like about this group is, I'm an achiever. As you shared, Hilda, I'm definitely an achiever and want to do it all. What I love about this group is that it has the feminine aspect, which is self-care. So you're doing, and then at the same time, you're learning the boundaries. You're doing, and you're learning, to take care of all these things that create burnout. That's my problem, is burnout. So, and then getting sick with the burnout. So, I'm really grateful for this group having the balance of, we can become powerful people, but then we can take care of ourselves at the same time. And the wisdom of and the connection of both of you is so inspiring. And this group is so small. I thought it was going to be a huge group, like maybe 500 people will be on the call, and oh my gosh, I'll never get my heart answered. But I love the intimacy of it, and I love you're giving us homework to prepare for starting next year. I love that. Helping us to change our habits and helping us to think a lot through your examples every week. And also the last point is, what really helped me was June became kind of my accountability partner. So we checked in with each other, that I had that human connection. So we're kind of calling each other weekly to check in, and that helped me to be more accountable.
Well, you're ahead of the game.
That would change the whole dynamic. Yeah. That was just recently. I was like, whoa, I got to get this homework done because June's calling me. Anyway, thank you.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
I have to get this homework done because I got to talk to Liz about something. But
thank you.
Yeah, how do you get over that? I think myself, like I do too much for others, and then it doesn't allow them. Oh gosh, and then they wind up like expecting you to do much, and then they just kind of become victims or whatever. They're always looking to you. That's no good. How do you get over that? Or how do you can you distinguish?
Well, that will come when we create safe conversations, when we learn how to do this. Because first is that you're triggered. Seems like, it's going through your mind and you wonder, wow, I sign up for so many things, I help others, and now they're expecting it. But you realize that you're overwhelmed or you don't have enough time for yourself. So that's the first thing. And then yeah, how do you get to the other person? How do you clear the relationship? That'll be a big part of our group, because as we grow older, it doesn't matter if you're 30 and grow older, if you're 60 and grow older. We just always want to get the most out of life. And there's times when we need to sit and say, what relationships are good for me and are serving me, and which relationships are dragging me down. And I'm not saying that we always just look for the positive, the ones that are, so to speak, serving me and bring me forward, but we can decide, okay, I help this person, I serve this person, but not when people cannot appreciate, don't move, and stay stuck. There's a difference. So really making lists at times. Who are my friends? Who are the people I'm in touch all the time? And where do I need to create clarity? So that was your question. Using safe conversation, saying, hey, I want to share a little bit about what I'm going through in our relationship, in our friendship. Would that be okay for you? When is a good time? And then you sit together and you bring up your things, but in the I language. Very careful. I don't want to teach now the safe conversations, the points, but using I language and saying how it is for us in this friendship and what we would like to see and what we would like to let go. And you can do something like this anytime. We learn and we get stronger. We get more clear. And you will see that sometimes in the other person, it already worked also. They realize there's something off. And they would either want to adjust, so they also invest in the friendship. And if they don't, then they are not vibrating on your level anymore. That's a good one. I like that one. They are not vibrating on the level where you want to go and where you want to be. And so therefore it fizzles out. Don't call, don't respond, don't, if there's nothing there, when you already make the effort to clarify something and correct, and the other person is fairly stuck, then you know that it doesn't go much further. Does that help? It goes back to the same issue as Annie brought up. Learning in ourselves what has value and what not.
Gee, it just opens up this whole thing of more questions. But anyway.
Go ahead.
Well, oh, no. Oh, gosh. Okay. Maybe I'll just stop for now.
Okay. So think about it. It's a question of the guilt, isn't it? Yeah. Wondering how to serve others and things.
Yeah, we will learn safe conversations in depth, which is very helpful. I actually learned this also from Hilda. And I had great experiences with my husband when you take time. It's 4 steps that you follow. It's simple. And you can really work out old triggers, old wounds that you don't even know sometimes that you have that. An example that I had is when Steve and I were filming, and he told me, look in this direction. And I said, but I'm looking in this direction. He said, no, look in this direction. And I said, I look in this direction. What do you want? And we were clearly not communicating and not understanding each other. And I got so angry and so upset. And in that moment, I didn't know why I got so stressed out. There was a trigger. And later on, when I practiced with him, what I learned from Hilda, safe conversations, these 4 steps, we were sitting down and we said, okay, look, what happened? And we go through the steps. I realized I was so triggered because that is something my dad always did to me when I was younger. He would always yell at me and tell me what to do and what not. And I had no idea what was going on and why I responded to Steve to that. Steve had nothing to do with this. It was my old wound, right? And that so often plays a big role, even how we respond to people, even when we feel guilty, that we feel deep inside of us, maybe I am not worthy. Maybe I don't deserve to take care of myself, to nurture myself. There's so many old wounds that we have, which come up in triggers and in other people, and they are our mirror. They reflect and they want to send a message to us, and we need to take the time to look at that message. But I want to share that story because Safe Conversations is really helpful. And in 2 weeks, I think it's week 6, Hilda will go give a little bit an introduction already to that. And then you can already practice that. And we go much more in depth about Safe Conversations in our 4-week program. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Safe Conversation is a big program and there's protocols that you can follow and so on. But I'm a simplifier, known for it, that every book I read, I simplify, every method I simplify. And so the 4 sentences is what we're going to teach in that little video that's coming to you in 2 weeks. It's very easy for everybody to remember and you can start practicing. So by the time we go through our course in January, you already had experiences and then you can ask questions and learn more about it.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you so much for having this meeting. I really appreciate it and I'm listening attentively. So thank you. I just wanted to say the reason I joined this group was because I've been battling an issue of clutter for most of my life. And it's still a battle for me, but I'm trying very hard to listen to motivational speakers and read motivational books in order to get myself organized such that I can clear this clutter and find a place for it and give it away and whatever. So that's actually the primary reason why I'm joining this group.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Wow, thank you, Catherine. I can really resonate with you. I started to become a minimalist in the beginning of this year because I felt I couldn't breathe anymore in my own clutter at home, really. I felt like every item, I have things double, triple, 4 times, and they take up energetic space, really. There is no space for myself anymore. So I started to minimalize, and I'm doing that now every week. And I was mentioning that in the last video, that every week I do that. And it's been such a releasing process because with every item that I choose to give away, I give away old stories that are still in my life taking up space. But now I'm choosing consciously to give that away. And also not just throwing it away, right? So we want to be responsible. Anyway, I said that in the video, what we can do with that. But it is really, you clean up your internal house when you clean up your environment, when you choose to give things away and to get organized. And I'm a big fan of that. And I really want to encourage you to try that out. You're going to feel you have more space. There's more space for you in your own self, in your own home, and for the relationships that you want and for the things you want to do. And then maybe you find yourself suddenly, oh, actually I have time for myself, for my self-care, because you feel that it's different. You have time for you because the old stories, subconsciously, you're letting that go. Catherine, I'm wondering now, how did you like that video? And did you start already to clear out some things? And how is that going for you?
Yes, I love the video. And I did start little places, like the desk or, just like that. And it has helped. And you're right. I'm starting to feel suffocated by all of it. So the release that comes from even just clearing out one desk is amazing. So yes, thank you very much. I'm going to keep doing it. Yes, I'm committed to keep doing it.
Awesome. Let's do it together.
Yeah. Go ahead, June.
Oh boy, I mean,
Catherine.
Actually, like Diana, I kind of was like a little bit resistant to it. I started, but I've had I've been here for a long time, and there's so much clutter. I'm scared to even. Well, look. This is just my bookcase. I don't know if you could see this, but
we can see. We can see.
Okay. There are I just pulled off about 100 books off my bookshelves that have been there for years now, and now I'm just thinking. But how do you approach it, so you don't overwhelm yourself?
One little corner at a time. I started once a week. Not even the whole drawer. You see that big thing here behind me? Yeah, so there's boxes inside. And I would start with just one box. And one box already can take me sometimes an hour because I have to go through the items and think about what do I want to keep and what do I want to let go. And I want to show you something. I had so much stuff one lesson that I learned when I started to clear up is that the individual items I'm not valuing anymore. We think the more we have, the more value we have in our life, right? That's what society is telling us. Buy more, consumerism. The more stuff you have at home, the more value you have. But honestly, are you looking at those items? Do you value them? Look at this. This is a beautiful crystal, a very big healing crystal. So this was in my closet for probably 2 or 3 years and didn't do any good because it was stuffed in a drawer full of stuff. And I was afraid to open the drawer because there was so much stuff inside, you know? And now that I cleared the drawer up, I found, look at the crystal that I have. This has healing powers. You know how much value this has? But I didn't value it because of all the clutter that I don't need. So I decided, okay, let go of all the clutter and keep what's really valuable. And that's what's coming out. Things that are really valuable to you, you will keep and then honor it. But we are not even a good owner if we don't honor the things that we have, right? If we have so much, we don't honor it and we just stuff it and we don't look at it because we are afraid to open it up. So that's what I learned really. To really be a good owner, even of our environment, is when we keep it clean and tidy and just have a few items that we really love and really care. And then they can do their purpose. Otherwise, they have no chance, you know.
Can I add an idea to this, though? I think that whenever anyone has a problem with clutter, I think it's deeper than just the clutter. And I think from my personal experience, I think it's fear. And one of the reasons that is because with all the negativity in the world today, and you can't help but listen to the news, you know, you want to make sure you have an item in case you can't buy it at the store because the store closes or because the store goes out of business for whatever reason. And so one of the things is that I actually have, thought about a lot is, well, I have this item because I want to have it in case. But the problem is I don't have space for it. So now I have to find space for it. And it sits there for years on end because it's there. And I know it's there and I have peace of mind that it's there. But that's not healthy. And so how do we overcome that fear, that terror of, oh, my goodness, I'm not going to be able to go to the store and I'm not going to be able to have that item. But I have it now here. So I have peace of mind. I think that's where my perspective comes from in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. There's definitely different reasons why people have clutter. I just talked to somebody the other day. He said, there's a story with everything that I have and I can't give it away. I can't let go. It's a memory. So it's almost, he's sitting on all this and he can't move forward and live life because he's sitting in the past. And that has to become clear to people what reason they have for the clutter. So when I look at this, June, I would say everybody organizes differently eventually when it comes to organization. So one method definitely is, Diana, what you said, you have things and there's a box and do one box at a time, do one shelf at a time, one closet at a time, one dress at a time, or drawer at a time, and so on. Yes. Other people or at other times in my life, I think it was so that I wanted it clear where I live and I put everything away, anywhere, in a drawer, in a box, in a closet. I just was hiding things. Of course, I created a new mess inside, but that didn't matter to me because then I could breathe. And in a certain area, I began to feel very free, very comfortable, and very clear. And then I started, when I knew all the things are gone that I don't want to see and don't want to have, then I started room by room or dresser by dresser and cleaning out, clearing out in the, what do I need and what do I want to give away and what really needs to go in the garbage. When I see a clutter like you have there, I put all the books in a tower, all the paperwork in a pile, and all the pens, pencils, markers, whatever, also in a pile. So all the different categories in a pile. And then you can start going through every book and say, am I reading it? Am I giving it to the library or whatever? Find a solution for it. And believe me, the piles get less, smaller. And that's how you can create, because if you think that you sit down on the floor and take piece by piece and you can find a new place and make a decision, it drives me nuts. I don't know how about you, but I wouldn't get very far because it's overwhelming. There's everywhere something. So if I put it all in one file, which I do all the time on my desk, you should see my desk right now. So this afternoon is for boom, all going on one side, on one pile, and then I organize my week. So find what works for you.
Yeah.
So, and the point Catherine was very good. Find out why do we live like that?
Yeah, I think what Catherine meant, what I understood from you, Catherine, is how can you let go of the fear, right? That is attached with every item. And that is true. I think our clutter has always a message to us, and often it is we are afraid to let go of old stories, and we are holding on to our past. And then we live in the past, like Hilda said, and that's of course not a good thing, because it doesn't give us any energy for the present or the future. What I found very helpful to let go is like when you do meditations of letting go. There's even on my YouTube channel, I have meditations where you can let go of fear and you can go through a process. Another very helpful technique is EFT. I became a huge fan of EFT, emotional freedom technique, because you can say out loud what you are afraid of, even what you just said, you're afraid of the things that are not available in the store anymore, which of course is very much promoted in the last years. From even the government, of all the lockdowns and things that happen, it creates a huge fear inside of us. Everywhere you are just bombarded with that. But when you sit down with yourself and you become aware of, okay, that is my fear, you can then go ahead and use a technique to release that fear. And you can do that with every item or with every story that comes up as you go through your clutter. And that is a healing work. It doesn't happen just today. It's a journey. It's really a journey that you go on of releasing your old past, your old pain, the resentments, the frustrations, everything that happened that you want to let go and really free yourself from that. It's not just, the clutter is just the external stuff, but what comes up is really the healing work you have to do inside. And it's a wonderful process. It's maybe difficult to start, but once you see one success, when you do an EFT session and you feel better and you see how it actually feels good to let go, then you want to go on the journey. And that's what we will do even in the 4 weeks. We're going on a healing journey, which means to let go of the pain and the resentments, because that's eventually what's holding us back from moving forward in our relationship, in our career, and parenting, and taking care even of ourselves. We reject ourselves and don't allow us self-care because of an old story. And that's all it is. It's releasing the old stories and the pain, and it's a healing journey.
Thank you so much. Yes, I agree. And it is a journey, and it's not always an easy one, but
Yeah.
but at least we can identify it. If we're honest with ourselves, we can identify what the root problem is. So thank you very much.
Yeah,
I like the word journey here.
Yeah.
Because I think we want to move into the bigger vision and the picture that we are creating this because our dream is a worldwide organization, a women's organization, where we wear maybe a pin on our shirt, and we know, just like right in the beginning, not everybody was here, but I was a Girl Scout. I am a Girl Scout.
Wow. And now you're the leader of the new Girl Scout.
And then my brother's Boy Scouts, and in those times we actually were wearing this on our shirts, civil shirts, and just if you go to the airport or the store or whatever, people know, oh, she's a Girl Scout. I think we could become like this, to wear a crystal and to have this awareness all the time, this consciousness. Yeah, I'm really growing into the clarity of who I am, into my best version, being reminded of this and seeing others, or with the idea that I can meet people, women like this, anywhere and everywhere, that there's courses, seminars going on retreats going on, and it's known. It is known as something very special that women want to belong to, because then it's an inspiration. So we said, let's create a 4-week program first in order to boost ourselves, to get something going, and then stay in groups to support each other, like you do. Who was it, Liz and June? You said that you already work together and stimulate each other and say, oh, I have to do this homework to catch up and so on. So this is the spirit that we want to create. I'm sure, Diana, you want to add on to this?
To the spirit? Yeah. I mean, we can share a little bit about the 4-week program, but before we do that, I want to just ask if anyone else has a question, because I think soon we will come to an end. Is there anyone else who has a burning questions? Come up now.
I mean, I had, it was interesting in terms of the feedback on what I've got so far. The thing that stood out for me was the decluttering, which has been coming up in all sorts of other programs that I've been doing as well. And the clutter for me is not just the physical clutter, but right now it's the digital clutter and the emotional clutter. I'm getting all of these invitations to these amazing congress, to the highly spiritual people, highly sensitive people, to financial well-being, to spiritual well-being, to safe conversations, everything. And to a certain extent, I have allowed myself to, I have calmed myself down, and I believe in the flow, that I am being exposed to the things that I need. And like now I came 15 minutes late because I was in another meeting, which was more important to me. And I was glad that I managed to come into this meeting. And I'm involved in all sorts of other things as well. And sometimes I think, oh, that's also clutter. When you fill your schedule up with meetings and things that you're doing, or your computer, you can't find the stuff on your computer. I'm fighting with my Dropbox and my files because I can't find the stuff that I've saved, because I get all these amazing emails and other information. And how am I going to find it when I really want it? And I call myself a data manager, a knowledge manager. And I want to have all of this access. But there too, I recognize on the one hand, I trust the universe, and I'm using so much of the tools that you've been talking about, the meditating, the praying, the morning routine. And I believe I'm meant to be here. I'm so grateful for everybody here. And yeah, I'm learning to trust the process, trust the universe, and decluttering is still a big, big, big thing on my agenda.
I have a feeling, thank you, Lily. I have a feeling that will be the topic besides something else. Every time this will also come up, because I can see everybody was smiling or nodding their head, with the emails and the clutter on our computer and so on. So that's definitely an issue. And how do we solve that? So we will talk about it in the course and amongst each other, because we have different personalities and different issues. So each person can find inspiration through somebody else maybe, or the things that we are suggesting. I said yesterday, it just so happens that I'm lucky enough, I have an assistant who is single, and she is right now visiting me. And I said yesterday to her, if you can just empty my emails and put all, and her idea was, okay, certain things that you don't need to read right now and you don't need, I put in this box in a file. And maybe I never look at it and I don't need to. But today my email is almost empty, and I can't tell you what peace this brought to me. So sometimes you can ask your younger kids or in-laws or whatever, or a kid from high school or something, to help you to just once clear out things, to physically or computer-wise and stuff like this. Just delegate or get help for a short time, because with that we are showing the universe that we are sincere. that we are not, oh, I like that. I let things come. And this is it, to show the universe that you are determined. And then when we open the door, the answers come, things begin to flow. And those things resolve because our desire is big enough. Isn't that good? I see Lily. Okay. Thanks for bringing that up, and Diana for asking that. So,
yeah.
Thank you. That was a good idea of delegating. That's great. Thank you. Mm-hmm. It's a great idea. And I just wanted to also let the team know that one of the reasons that attracted me to this group was because when you said women empowerment, I think a lot of women need empowerment at this time, honestly. So Thank you for making this group.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think that brings us what you just mentioned, helping others to clear their clutters, and even ourselves. That brings us to a little bit the program, the next year, what's coming in January. We are all very excited about that. That's exactly the focus. What we want to look at is we want to first really go and dive into our own hearts, into our own minds, and see what is there that we need to resolve. Because often we have the desire to restore relationships and help our children and fix this and fix that, but then we are neglecting to look at our own self, and sometimes that is very much connected, and it is a mirror to help us get a message for ourselves. And that's both important, right? To look at yourself as well as your family, of course, that we want to help our loved ones. So in the 4 weeks that is starting in January, we want to really look into our ideals, make a check-in. Where am I in my life? And look in all the different areas in your relationship, in your health, in your joy. Are you experiencing joy? And how is your family? How is your, everything that you want, all the 12 areas. There's a whole wheel of life that we will go later on throughout the program into, and want to see where am I in every area, and where do I need to look at first? What is the most pressing need that I need to take care of? And then we want to really create that supportive environment as women. It was even mentioned this evening, and it is something that we really need because we live in a world that is really driven by masculine energy mainly. And it is really neglected, that taking care of ourselves and repairing relationships and even our own lives. So that's something we want to rediscover our own self and resolve the unmet needs and the trapped emotions that we are holding inside. And then improve really how we react to our environment, how we react to our circumstances, and how we react to our relationships. And we want to take the time to transform the self-doubt, the old stories that we have, and really raise our vibration. We want to come to the next level so that we can attract insights and solutions for our life. We clean up and we open the door for something new, a new opportunity to come in, and want to learn to fill our love tank to overcome the challenges that we have and really maintain a healthy growth. And for that, we really need that supportive community that we are creating this. And we will go on this 4-week journey together so that there is a supportive network. And you will learn a lot of skills throughout this journey to really raise your vibration and come to the level that you want to come, and take the time in your life, wherever you are, in the middle, in the beginning, towards the end. There's always in your journey something you want to restore and heal, and it needs your focus so that you can really have the energy to do so. We want to be here to support you, and you will have smaller circles that hold you accountable, what you're already starting to do. So that's wonderful. So in the 4 weeks, we'll meet twice a week. We'll probably on a Tuesday and on a Saturday, and we will go live, and you will have all these wonderful topics, and we'll dive much deeper into that. And then afterwards, it's not finished, because a lot of programs that just end and then you drop out, kind of what happened to me when I was very young, and then you find yourself again being alone and unsupported. But we have a plan for you, which is very exciting. So after the 4 weeks is over, you have the opportunity, if you like, to enter into smaller circles later on. And throughout the whole year next year, 2023, we will go every month in depth into one topic, into one area, and clear that out and learn and grow and support each other. So it's not just a small thing that you commit and then it ends right there. It is a life transforming experience. It's a growing process, and we want to do that together as women and help each other because we need each other. We are all like crystals, and every crystal has a different healing power. Every crystal has a different color, every crystal has a different shape, but every crystal is so beautiful. And you are all like crystals, and together we can really help us to create the world that we want to see, a better future for our children, for the grandchildren, and even for ourselves, preparing for the next life that we want to enter. We want to see a better future than it is now, and want to do that together. And I think that energy that we have with all you as ambitious, value-driven women who are all striving to become better and to work on themselves, we can really create something really powerful. And I feel Hilda has so much good other things to say, so go ahead.
No, not necessarily, but I just want to say that so if you're inspired about it and want to be part of this, you can already sign up to a much bigger discount. I mean, it's like a third off. When we will send with the video, the recording we did, we'll send you a link. But for those who are eager to see right away where to go, you could go on my website, generationalhealing.org. I think all of you are familiar with that one. And the first thing there is announced a new program, and it's the Crystal Within that you can already sign up for. I would suggest, we continue with the 12, so you can sign up for now for a discount. If you miss that one by November 20th, it gets a little bit more expensive, and then full price after December 20th. What else do we have? We have in order to make it more affordable, or if you're excited and you want to spread the word, then you definitely, when you tell other people to come into our 12-week program and then into the 4 weeks, there is all kinds of goodies that we're giving out to you. And I think Diana can explain that better.
Yeah, you said it very well already. So if you find this 12 weeks very valuable and you feel you have some friends that could also benefit from this, then you can now benefit each other from that, which is you can recommend it to 3 of your friends. And when you do that, you can get a discount off for the 4-week program that is coming on January. So it's very exciting. So you tell 3 friends, and then you get the bonus discount, and you will get an email, and in that email is that link, and you can find all the information on there. Yeah, and as Hilda already said, if you sign up now for the 4 weeks next year, you get a very huge discount. And then I think until November 20, and then the next discount is until December
20. Yeah, it's the next one.
Exactly.
Right.
You have some time. Yeah.
I understand that everybody is liking the small group here, but I think everybody also knows that if we spread, then we can split up, we can enjoy the energy of, can you imagine if there would be 50 or 100 people on the call, and then we can split up in smaller groups. Even within the session, as you know, it is possible to go in small groups and talk about different topics or to help each other. Thank you, Diana. She's saying she has to leave.
Yes, thank you.
We have double names here. So I think that's it for today. We're glad, we're grateful you came. I can see that this is helpful, that you are investing already. That's exciting to me, that you're listening to the videos and you're already starting to make changes in your habits, to shift and to clear out internally, externally, in relationships, in different ways. That's powerful to end a year with being ahead already, because most people set a goal, okay, in January I will change, but you are already beginning to transform yourself now.
You are ahead of time.
So thank you for being here. Diana, you want to close it with your words?
Yeah, nothing much to add. Just we have 2 more live calls in this 12 weeks. So week number 8 and week number 12, we will meet again, and we'll have again an opportunity to share, to check in. How's it going? Is there any more feedback you would like to give? And if you do have feedback, you can always fill out the feedback form. Just go back to your email if there is a topic you want to request, right? Because we are building this challenge based on your needs. We didn't come up with the topics before. We received all your feedback and all the challenges people are going through. And based on that, we created the content to really serve you the best we can. And we continue to do that. So if you have something, please don't hesitate to contact us and fill out the feedback form. And hopefully we will see you for the live call in 4 weeks again. And also on my end, thank you so much for everyone coming here. Thank you for being open to sharing. As we can already see, we all have similar issues, challenges, and we can all learn from each other. And I think that is exactly what is so valuable. And as Hilda said, we can make small groups. And this is actually the goal, to make small inner circles where we are really close and really supporting each other all the time. Not just while we're on there, but later on also offline, off the program, to create really friendships and connection with women, and so create a support network. That's what we want to do, creating a support network. Yeah.
And all of you who are here today, I think, you know, you're more or less the inner circle, and you will grow to this, the people who give us feedback, and we are building a program like this together. It starts out small, you know, we have our ideas and our suggestions, but you can imagine if we want to become something like a worldwide organization, there's a lot of feedback needed, so we improve our programs to needs of different people, different circles. Thank you, everybody, and you see us on video soon, but we see you in 4 weeks. Take care.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Women deserve to have a supportive network of like-minded women who empower, discover, and embrace her true divinity. We believe when women feel safe, loved, accepted, they feel empowered to achieve their goals and highest values. And this is what we bring to you through our organization.